Hi everyone and welcome to the Scott Show. This is the wrestling show. We're super pumped to bring this up to you. This is the Raw recap show. Now the Scott Show has 5 different channels going on that you can turn to on the Scott Show network. We got the 102550 show, the Bible show, the sports show, the wrestling show, and of course the main show, the Scott Show, which will have the wake-up call tomorrow morning as soon as I get my butt out of bed. So it might be 8, it might be 9, it might be like noon, who the hell knows. But this is the Raw recap show. I'd love to get a few shout-outs first. Shout out to the Nature Boy Ric Flair, who apparently, from what I'm hearing, is getting better. Charlotte had posted out something and said that he was feeling better. So big shout out to him, Nature Boy Ric Flair, the 16-time world champion. Shout out to Tony Schiavone as he makes his return to calling pro wrestling at MLW One Shot, which will happen in October. And let's see, we'll give another shout out to, we'll just keep going with the whole thing. We'll give a shout out to the WWE themselves, because they're putting together the 3rd of 4th days at the Barclays Center, and so far it's been pretty awesome. I can't say glorious, but that would have been pretty funny. So we started out with Brock Lesnar coming to the ring saying, "Hey, I'm still the champion, ha ha ha, bite me." And then you had the monster among men, Braun Strowman, came out. Crazy pop for him, and does not say one word, just picks him up with a power slam, then gets him with another power slam, and just kind of manhandled Brock, and it was really surreal. It was weird. We haven't seen that happen. So we are going to have Brock and Braun at No Mercy 5 weeks from now. The next WWE pay-per-view in Los Angeles, California. Then they had a Brooklyn Street fight with Big Cass versus Enzo Amore. I do not know what happened there. At the end, something happened with Cass's knee and ended up going out. Enzo won because Cass couldn't continue in the match. So we'll keep an eye on that. Then Sasha Banks was promoted, and Emma and Dana Brooke were talking, and Nia comes out and says something. It says that tonight's hashtag is going to be Give Emma CPR. And then they had a match, and that's exactly what it was. Nia Jax won the match. And there you go. So the next match after that was Elias, and you can't say Samson anymore, but that's kind of his name, Elias Samson, against R-Truth, and Elias ended up winning that match. So, yeah. 2 matches kind of just thrown together. It just is what it is. Weird. So then Kurt Angle came out and said, "I got a surprise for the WWE Universe. Out comes John Cena." Now, I would like to formally, I'll give that a down if I was doing ups and downs like Simon Miller 316 is going to be doing tomorrow or later tonight. So I'd give that a down. Let me just say that if John Cena was the present that Kurt Angle gave me for Christmas, I would want to return that. After telling Kurt Angle he was no longer my friend. Yeah. I would just hope that if they were to put John Cena in a box and give that to me for Christmas, that they would not poke holes in it, so then you get the drift. Okay, so John Cena comes out and says, "I got one person I want to talk to, that's Roman Reigns." Roman Reigns comes out, and it looks like they're going to fight, but no. Then they get interrupted by The Miz and Samoa Joe and the Miztourage and the whole deal. interesting setup for a main event that I really don't want to see. Joe, I think, was the only interesting one here. The other part to it is that Joe and John Cena really started out together in the UPW, I think, which was the Ultimate Pro Wrestling, Rick Bassman from California. So that's where they started. They started together. So check that out, folks. Alright, so they did confirm it's going to be John Cena versus Roman Reigns and the Miz and Joe in the main event. Then you had the 8 Cruiserweights that already came out. And it was Okay, folks, it's been a long day. And I just talked about Yawning Man John Cena. Alright, Drew Gulak, Noam Dar, Daivari and Tony Nese against Rich Swann, Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, and Grand Metalik. I really don't care about the Cruiserweights anymore either. It just does not do anything for me. But Cedric Alexander won that match with the lumbar check, and that's pretty much all I want to say about that. Neville has an interview, and then Tozawa, and Titus O'Neil say, hey, rematch 205 Live tomorrow, we'll have our rematch again tomorrow. Tag team main event plus tag team champions are going to come out. Jason Jordan asked Kurt Angle for Finn Balor, which I thought, okay, whatever. And then Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins came out, and they were talking about how they did not think it was going to happen, and they'll take on anyone's invited except for Sheamus and Cesaro. And here comes the Hardy Boys, and they pull out these little delete and obsolete and the broken Matt Hardy thing, which is really weird that they're kind of pushing it when I don't know who owns it or what the deal is with it. I just don't understand. So it's just weird to me that they have the broken Matt Hardy thing, but I guess Anthem couldn't trademark delete and obsolete and all that other stuff. So I'm sure they're getting set for a lawsuit. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose ended up winning that match. After the match, they confirmed Strowman and Lesnar for the championship, and that was what it was. Sasha Banks came out and said, "Hey, I left my heart in Brooklyn." She might be from Boston, which the crowd was ready to lynch her. It was terrible. Then she said Ric Flair's name, and that brought the crowd to a whole bunch of times and cheer. And then Alexa Bliss came out and said, "I'm going to have my rematch next week. These fans are not important enough to get a match with me in it." I thought her heel techniques were simply fantastic tonight. She was absolutely on point with the whole thing. She was great. So Alexa Bliss definitely gets 7,000 points for me for that. She really pulled off the heel. So next week you're going to have Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. There you go. Jason Jordan and Finn Balor. Finn Balor wins that match. It wasn't really too much of anything. And then we go to the tag team main event match with Roman Reigns, the big dog, teaming with John Cena. John, make me snore every time I say his name on these recap shows. I yawn and want to throw things at my computer. Cena. And then they faced off against the Miz and Samoa Joe. Really not the best main event match. You opened up with Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar, and then you end up with these two. I would have had something between Brock and Braun, because, Brock isn't really going to be there for the next 5 weeks. So you're going to have Braun do something, like beat up somebody. Yeah, I said John Cena there, is that yawn? Oh. Good thing I didn't say Naomi, or else I would have fell asleep. Dear Lord. Thank God that these two people, John Cena and Naomi, aren't on the same show anymore, because they are both boring as hell. Just saying on that. Alright, but anyway, so you had John Cena and Roman Reigns against the Miz and Samoa Joe, and why possible? I don't understand why you have the Intercontinental Champion. I guess they won on their match the other last night at SummerSlam. But then he not only loses in this match, he takes the pin in this match. Why, I don't know. So, Reigns and Cena, they might have a fight, might have a little thing going on. They had everything in the world that could have gave you a better tag team match. I just think that they should take on Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Let John Cena and Roman Reigns do that, because Curtis Axel is still the man. He's awesome. So he's really, really good. So because John Cena to me is just so boring, I didn't even want to watch the main event. It's only because I do this for you guys that I watch the main event, and it sucks so bad. Roman Reigns is not that bad of a wrestler. Samoa Joe is Samoa Joe. The Miz does his thing, or as Joe says, do your crazy whatever. I remember exactly how he put it. Do your unorthodox stuff in the ring. That's how he said it. So, really disappointing Raw at the end, but it started out hot, and that's how I would have totally done it, is had Brock and Braun fight at the end. Just say, hey, by the way, you're a champion. Most important person on your brand is coming out for an interview next or last, and then that's what they totally reversed it. They should have had Cena match on first so they can get him out there, done, and get him off of my TV screen. So, that's been the Raw recap, folks. I am just super exhausted and tired today. It's just been one of those days. I'm coming back tomorrow for the Scott Show wake-up call, so the minute I wake up, I will be making a podcast with you fine folks, hanging out, chilling out, live on the Scott Show. We make it happen here, folks. And that's what we do. So we got 5 different channels. Check them out. It's on the Scott Show on the 102550.net/Scott Show. We are also all over YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. Tomorrow will be the big push for that. We're just all over the place, folks. So just make it happen for us. And get us some hits and like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff. And we'll, subscribe to you right back. We'll hit on your stuff. We got to get to 10,000 hits, and we are so far away from that. Oh my God. So give us the hits we need. Like, share, subscribe to us, whatever you need to do. We are going to be live. Every day we are live when we are doing these podcasts. Friday might look a little different. I have not decided yet exactly how Friday was going to work. And I know Saturday we have a few things coming up too. However, it does not look like I do any podcasts on Saturday from what it looks like. But I know I planned something anyway. So we will be coming up with some program guides and stuff like that for all the wonderful things we got coming up. And we'll be doing some holiday stuff. Big time fun. So we'll be doing some holiday stuff soon too. And I know that sounds like it's really soon, but we got to raise some money, folks, to end homelessness and get some kids some presents for Christmas all over across this country. So we're going to be doing some specials on YouTube, some little marathons probably on YouTube, or little mini marathons, or however we're going to do it. We need to make things happen. So we'll check you guys out very, very soon. This has been Scott from the Scott Show and 102550 Homeless Project, and I bid you farewell till tomorrow morning for the Scott Show wake-up call, and that's pretty much whenever I wake up.